Greetings and welcome back to A Wolf Uncaged. Today we're talking about Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality, and we're having a little chit chat about our part 17. Also, I'd like to thank Craig for supporting the channel through the Buy Me a Coffee app. It's greatly appreciated. Let's begin. So tonight, we take a step into the inner architecture of the mind, not the surface chatter, not the day-to-day routines, no, but the deep furniture of consciousness, the core beliefs around which our entire reality is arranged. You see, Seth tells us that our beliefs are not small things, that they're not fleeting notions that just simply come and just go. They are the very scaffolding of our perception. They shape what we call time. They determine what we think as or think of as responsibility or guilt or freedom. And they do so invisibly, like the frame of the house that you never noticed once the walls have been painted. Think of this for a moment. What if your mind were a great room? In that room sits furniture, tables, chairs, bookshelves. Each piece is one of your beliefs. Some of them are old, some of them are worn, some of them are handed down by parents, teachers, religions, and cultures. Some of them are bright and new, chosen deliberately by you in moments of clarity. But here's the thing. You move through this room every day without questioning what's inside. You stub your toe on the same table, you sit in the same chair, and it never occurs to you that you can move the furniture if you want. You can replace it. You can design your inner room to reflect not just the past, but the present possibility of who you are becoming. Seth reminds us that beliefs are not dead objects. They are alive. They are psychic matter with a kind of vitality of their own. And like the cells in the body, they cluster, they protect each other, and they grow stronger together. That is why, when you question one belief, you often disturb an entire structure. Shake one pillar of guilt, and you feel the walls of responsibility tremble. Doubt the belief in linear time, and suddenly the seasons and the years seem less inevitable. Now, time itself. Time is one of those unquestioned assumptions. We believe with absolute certainty that time comes at us in hours, it comes at us in days, it comes at us in years. We believe we are caught up in the onrush of the seasons. One week follows another, one event follows another, as if we're trapped on a conveyor belt. But this is only one structure. This is only one arrangement of furniture. It's not time itself. It's your belief about time. Notice how easily the mind can slip into another rhythm. When you follow associations, one thought leading to the next, one memory sparking another, time disappears. The clock vanishes. And you're carried into insight. Moments fall apart from chronological order, and suddenly they take on a sort of a new vitality. It is in these moments, Seth says, that you come close to seeing the mind without its usual scaffolding. Like glancing behind the stage at the machinery that makes the play possible. But most of us are terrified of dropping time, for without it, how will we measure ourselves? How will we prove progress or maintain the story of who we are? Yet time, like a chair in a room of consciousness, can be picked up, it can be turned around, or even set aside. So imagine then that you could walk into your inner room tonight and take stock. You would see the tables, you would see the chairs, the shelves. Some beliefs would be obvious, like I'm responsible, I am guilty. I am limited. Others would be disguised, blending into the very walls as if they were a part of the building itself. But Seth reminds us, these are not the walls of reality. They are the furniture. You can open the drawers, look at what they contain, and decide if you want to keep them. Perhaps you find a heavy oak chair labeled as guilt. It seems sturdy, necessary even, and yet does it serve you? Do you sit in it every day, weighed down by its gravity? Do you even remember why you've accepted it into your home? If you throw it out, another voice might whisper, "You can't discard this." But that too is just another belief, another piece of furniture. You are never powerless before ideas. Ideas are not your masters. They are your possessions, and what is possessed can always be released. Here is something subtle. Beliefs are not dead. They live, they breathe, and gather nourishment. Every time you repeat a thought, you feed that structure. Every time you look at life through the eyes of guilt, guilt is strengthened. Every time you assume time is marching forward, that belief is fed. But just as easily, you can starve them. Withdraw your attention, and the structure, well, it weakens. Turn towards new beliefs, freedom, joy, abundance. Feed those instead. It's not a war. It's an ecology of the mind. Beliefs grow where the water of attention flows. Again, beliefs grow where the water of attention flows. Seth gives us a simple example. Perhaps you see yourself as a responsible parent. Remember that one? Noble enough. But notice what happens when this belief hardens. Every situation must now be filtered through that role. It is no longer possible to see the world without that structure in place. And soon guilt attaches itself because no parent can meet every expectation. Responsibility becomes cement, and guilt becomes the glue that holds the structure together. This is not to say responsibility is bad or that parenthood is not sacred. But when a belief becomes the only lens, you lose the freedom to perceive otherwise. And perception, remember, is creation. To see differently is to live differently. Seth says something radical. Information itself is not inert. Information is alive, like a magnet, seeking consciousness that can interpret it. The truth, in other words, wants to be known. It gravitates to those who are ready to hear it. That is why ideas arrive to artists. That's why ideas arrive to writers, to mystics, as if dictated from another realm. Not because they stole them from some cosmic library, but because consciousness and information seek one another. And when such a union occurs, the inner self meeting the outer world through art, through insight, through revelation, the result is not secondhand. It is new, born again, in the language and the style of the person receiving it. So you may look at something like Richard Bach's Jonathan Livingston Seagull and say, he did not write that alone. And Seth would reply, of course he did. For while the truth itself was given, the uniqueness of its form could only come through his being. And so it is with you. You may receive flashes of intuition, of images, words, entire visions. They are not foreign. And so it is with you. You may receive flashes of intuition, images, words, entire visions. They are not foreign intrusions. They are your own deeper self reaching through the veil of ordinary consciousness. So, let us return once again to that inner room of consciousness. Look around, see the furniture. Some of it is inherited, some of it is chosen, some of it is long forgotten. Notice what you feed. Notice what starves. And then remember, you are not a guest in this room. You are the builder, the designer, the homeowner. If a chair no longer suits you, you can set it outside. If the table is too small, you can craft a larger one. If you want windows where there were walls, you can tear them open. This is the essence of freedom, to realize that beliefs are yours to shape, not chains to bind you, but tools to serve you. So, today, tonight, as you drift into thought, ask yourself, what pieces of furniture are you ready to move? What beliefs have you outgrown? And most importantly, what new structures will you bind to reflect the life you now choose to live? Because in the end, consciousness is not trapped by beliefs. No, it is the architect of them. And you, the dreamer of this waking life, are free to rearrange the furniture of your mind up and until the room of your being shines with clarity, shines with vitality, and shines with truth. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Of course, I said this before, but this is Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality. This was just a chit chat about our part 17. Once again, thanks, Craig, for supporting the channel. Tell me what you thought about this particular passage in the comments below. And until the next time, peace. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure, just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you. Peace.